Hi guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a little bit of a pack with me video. These are orders that came in over the weekend for the most part, and I've got some really cool pieces that I can't wait to show you. A couple really cool vintage pieces that went, one of them went like crazy quick, so I can't wait to talk to you about that. But before we get started, if you are new here, welcome, welcome aboard. I am Julia. I talk all things vintage and thrifting and reselling on the internet. If that is something that you are into, be sure to hit subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. We're building this beautiful community of fellow vintage lovers and thrifters and resellers, and we just have a lot of fun. So follow along and join us. But without further ado, guys, as per usual, I am running extremely low on time. I've got to be out the door so soon to get these over to the post office. I got a jam-packed afternoon. So without further ado, let's get into the packing. So the first thing that went here is this really cute dress from Free People 1. It's this adorable little strapless dress. It's got a little V-wire here in the middle. It's a midi length and it's got a slit with a little raw hem. It is just so cute. I think I had this for about 1 month. And I had it listed for $38 and I got an offer for $30, which I did accept. This is definitely a summer piece, so I'm always excited to sell something that's like definitively a summer piece in the dead of winter, seeing as that it is, you know, mid-January right now. So I took the $30 offer. I did get this for $1 at the bins, and that left my profit on this to $24.30. And I gotta say, guys, this weekend was such I just had some really interesting good sales over the weekend. My ASP ended up being almost $41, which is just insane. I always aim to hit about $30 as my average sales price. That's kind of where I want to land once all is said and done. There we go. So anytime that I can beat that by like 33%, I'm a happy girl. And I apologize, for whatever reason, this batch of post office tie-back envelopes that I got has absolutely terrible stick. So it's just gonna be a little bit choppy because I don't want you to have to listen to the tape every time I pull to kind of resale this. Yeah, so happy to get that on the road, happy to sell that in the dead of winter. It's such a cute piece, you know, and a great price. Next up, and this, you know, this touches back. I do really well with Free People pants. Not necessarily their jeans, not necessarily their skirts, but their pants I do really well with. And I'm not quite sure why. Like, they always go pretty fast for me. But this was a cute little pair of linen blend trousers. I think they were called the Feeling Good trousers. And this pretty steel blue. They're an extra small. And I had these for about 2 weeks. And I had this listed for $38. For whatever reason, the pants tend to go a little bit more than shirts or sometimes even dresses. So just something to keep your eye out for. You know, obviously use your judgment. Don't go spending $15 on a pair of Free People pants. You're probably not going to make, you know, a profit that's going to be worth it. But, you know, if you're getting them for $1 or $2 at the bins, or if you're getting them, you know, really inexpensively, grab them. They will go. So I had this listed for $38. I had it for 2 weeks. And I had an offer that was like right on the edge of kind of where I won't even like dance, you know, where it's just a little bit too low that I don't think that we're gonna kind of land in the right place. And we went back and forth several times. So I had it listed for $38 and got an offer eventually for $28, which I did take. They had a $1 cost of the bins, and that brought my profit to $19.52. So I'm happy with that. Again, a great pair of linen trousers out the door. I love finding Free People pants. I just love it. I don't find them all that often, but when I do, I snap them up. Next up, this is such a cool little find. I found these at the end of summer, and I do a lot of vintage stuff, right? So these are a very cool pair of 90s swim trunks. Look at that patch. Do you remember seeing the boys at the swim club wearing swim trunks like this? Did you guys have swim clubs when you were little? I don't know if this is a regional thing. I grew up just outside of Philly, and swim clubs were like a big deal in my town. Where, you know, there was a swim club, you would have a swim team where you would compete against other local swim teams. And out west, they're not a thing. You know, I mentioned going to the swim club to somebody and they're like, what's that? I'm like, was that not your entire summer? So I went to my little swim club and I was there every day. I had swim practice at like 8 in the morning. I would ride my bike across town to get there. Anyway, it was such a cool place. I would love to go back, you know. I haven't obviously been back in a lot of years. I would love to go back and see what it's like. Anyway, these swim trunks just brought me right back to the swim club. I had them listed, again, I got them at the end of summer, so I had them listed for about 4 or 5 months at $20. I had paid $1 for them at the bins. I just grabbed them because I thought they were super cool. And I got an offer for $17.80 in January, and I gladly accepted. Super happy. This is like the 3rd swim purchase I've had in January, which is pretty crazy. So I'm never ever gonna be mad about that. So again, my profit on that ended up being $11.67 and a nice swim purchase out the door again in the middle of January. This one I knew was gonna go quickly. This is a cute Zara like midi maxi dress. It's all black and it's got that kind of crepey, that crepe fabric to it. I believe this is an extra small. It's just a small, but it has the most flattering neckline. I don't know if you can see this, but it's got almost like molded cups and then a cowl that goes right in front of it. If you are struggling to figure out a flattering neckline for your bust line, that's gonna look good on anybody's bust. Just gorgeous. So this has like ruching down the side, and that ruching goes to a slit. So you can kind of adjust where that slit is gonna land on your leg by pulling that ruching in a little bit or pulling it back out. Adjustable straps. You know, this is really high quality. And you know, Zara pieces have just been moving really fast for me. I obviously don't pull everything that I find from Zara, but when I find these kind of good quality pieces, I snap them up because they will move. I only had this for about a week and a half, and I had it listed for $45. And got an offer for $40, which I gladly accepted. This is, you know, I hope this goes on to just be like a staple in a closet. It's like a perfect little black dress. It's gonna be worn to weddings, functions, cocktail hours. You know, it's really appropriate for a lot of things. So I did get this at the bins for $1, and that brought my profit to $29.47. Which is great on a Zara piece. Yeah, you know, and in terms of, you know, what you guys should be looking out for, you know, I've had things from Zara go like this where it's a pretty high price. And I've also had things sit for 2 years. So just, you know, think about what moves for your specific closet. If you're thinking about kind of dipping your toe in some of the nicer, more fast fashion pieces. And think about what moves for you, and if there is something that kind of lines up in the Zara world, and you find really good quality pieces, what am I doing? Grab it. Like I said, they have been moving really, really fast out of my closet, and that makes me happy. So happy to get this on the road. Great little dress, so cute. I hope the buyer loves it. Next up, this was such a gorgeous shirt. So this is from 7 for All Mankind, and I am a sucker for a good eyelet. But this was really different for me. Like the color is almost like a pale yellow, almost closer to like a natural color, like almost like an undyed canvas. But it has these beautiful ruffled sleeves, and it felt like unworn. This was just a really, really nice piece. And 7 for All Mankind clothing pieces, obviously, most people know them for their jeans, but their clothing pieces are also really nice. You know, they match that quality. I believe they're still made in the US. If not, you know, the manufacturing is really high quality and the fabrics are really nice. So I was excited to find this one. I only had this for about 2 weeks, and I had it listed for $35 and got an offer for $27, which I did accept. Happy to get this one moving. That brought my profit to $21.60 on this piece, which I'm super duper happy about. This is just a really cool little shirt, and I hope the buyer loves it. It's, you know, with spring kind of on the heels. It's funny for me because it's the dead of winter and everybody else in the country is dealing with like an ice storm or a snowstorm, and here, you know, it's 55 degrees and rainy and we're like, oh, it's freezing, but the rest of the world is is actually freezing. You are feeling the real pain. So in my mind, spring is coming right around the corner. So I love starting to see these kind of pieces move. It is to say, like, now is the time you're going to see it in stores. Start getting those spring pieces. If you've been saving them, start getting them ready to get listed and go live, because this is when people are going to start buying. They're going to start having vacations. People are buying for spring break. Just start getting your head in that place. Next up here is this cool t-shirt from COS. COS is one of my personal favorite brands. It's one of my favorite brands to own. And it's also one of my favorite brands to pick. This is, there wasn't, for a long time, I would have to order my stuff from COS. And I think in a lot of the country, you still have to order your stuff from COS. They were UK based. I believe that they're owned by the H&M group, but they're just higher end, better construction, better fabrics, better manufacturing practices. And they were UK based. So I used to have to order stuff from COS from the UK. And now I live, of course, on the West Coast, and we have a couple stores here. And I believe there's one that just opened. I grew up near Philly, so we have a huge mall there called King of Prussia Mall. It was, back when it was made, it was, I think, supposed to be a competition to the Mall of America. I think, is that Minneapolis? The biggest mall in America. But anyway, so I think that they're starting to pop up around. But if you are somebody who likes minimalist dressing, definitely keep COS, on your mind. It's starting to become a little bit easier available. You're starting to see it pop up on resale. For years, you would never find anything on resale. I feel the same way about Arquette. Arquette is a very similar brand, I think also owned by the H&M group, but they are not in the US yet. And you can't even ship to the US. For whatever reason, you can ship pretty much anywhere in the world, but you can't ship to the US from Arquette. So I would imagine that eventually we're gonna see them here. I'm gonna be very excited, because that is something that I literally, if I want something from there, I have to ship it to a friend who lives in the UK and have them bring it here the next time they come. Anyway, so this one I had listed for about a month, and it was a full price sale at $34. These retail, I think, for close to $50, this specific t-shirt. I have another one upstairs. Dollar cost from the bins, this brought me to a profit of $24.64. This was a great sale, and I hope they love it. That t-shirt is pretty much brand new. I would be very surprised if that was ever worn at all. Next up, another really summery sale. This is a cute little faux wrap top from Diletta. Diletta is an Anthropologie brand. And this cute kind of grayish color. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a warm gray. But it's got this kind of flyaway wrap front. It's really cute. And it's got a beautiful drape to it. It's definitely one of those shirts that makes a lot more sense once it's on and kind of wrapped around a body than it does on a hanger or anywhere else. But anyway, this was in fantastic condition, size medium. I'm not sure if Diletta is still sold at Anthropologie, but I know for sure they were for a while. I did get this at the end of summer, and I've had it for about 4 or 5 months. So it was one of those ones that I was kind of, it wasn't big. I wasn't really stressed about it. I knew it would go. Everybody loves a faux wrap, but I was excited when an offer came through. So I had it up for 4 or 5 months and got it at $24, and I got an offer for $18, which I gladly accepted. I was happy to get this guy on the move in January. So I did get this one at the bins. It had a $1 cost. Again, I've had it for a while. Sorry guys, it's very choppy. And that brought my profit to $13.40. Super happy about this one and happy to get it on the road. Next up, oh, this one was cool. This one's from my own closet. This is a Woolrich flannel shirt. Now, if you are in the hunt for a heavyweight plaid shirt that will literally last your entire lifetime, maybe 2 lifetimes, you want to check out Woolrich. The cool thing about Woolrich is they're not crazy expensive, but the quality is insane. I wish you could feel how heavy this is. This is a nice heavy flannel, and I've probably had this for a while. I also have one that was a friend of mine's that was his grandfather's. So like, that's how long these things last. These things are not made for a season or two. These things are made for life. And they are based in Pennsylvania. They are based just outside of Philly. It's called Woolrich Woolen Mills. I believe that's what it's called. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. So I've had this for a while. I obviously haven't had to wear it, seeing as that I live in California now. It was something that I wore all the time. I had it in like 3 colors, and I slowly kind of sold them off over time. But it still feels brand new. Like it feels like it's barely been worn. So I had this live for about, I want to say about a year. I think I listed this about a year ago. And I had it listed for $20, and we're going back to that whole, guys, they're not that expensive. Like, it's not a super expensive brand, and the quality is just unbelievable. I mean, companies like that just don't exist anymore. So definitely something to keep your eyes out for if that is something that you are in the market for. Like, you know, if you want, I will say though, the women's pieces, they don't fit oversized. So if you're wanting that kind of oversized fit, order up a couple sizes or order from the men's department. Anyway, so had it listed for $20. My sidekick sent an offer to a liker for $18, and they accepted it. And my profit on it ended up being $13.40. I'm so happy. Oh, and it's going to a very cold location, so hopefully this gets a lot of wear. Okay, next up here, this is that cool little, I'm still gonna butcher this, guys. I really appreciate you coming in. It's Maurice Francois Gerbeau. I think I'm at least saying the last name right at this point. This is a gorgeous 99 through 2003. It's just very millennium style. Little slip dress. It has like the cute little ruffles. It's got a little drawstring on the ruffles. And it's just as soft could be. You know, it's just a nice, really beautifully made garment. And I only had this listed for like 2 or 3. I only had this listed for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, when I find these designer pieces, like, and just for your kind of knowledge as you're sourcing, any kind of like higher end designer piece, because the price is going to be a little bit higher, because it's a little bit less, you know, broad appeal, they are going to take a little time to sell in general. Like, it's very rare that you get a high-end designer piece that sells like overnight, unless it's something that's in like super high demand, like something that's sold out. So this actually sold quicker than I anticipated it going. And I'm super happy about that. So I had this listed for $78. I just kind of like took a stab in the dark with the pricing there, and got an offer for $55, which I gladly accepted. Just such a cool little piece. And I know it was like a super in-demand designer back in the day. Anyway, that brought my profit to $48.63. And I am just so jazzed for that to go out and get some use. It's going to New York. Somebody's gonna make an amazing little fit out of that, and I am pumped about it. And finally here, this absolutely gorgeous vintage 80s leopard coat. Guys, Mob Wife is in. It's a whole thing. Apparently clean girl aesthetic is out. Mob Wife is in. Look at that. Oh, I am so sad that this is going away. But I am pumped that this is going on and living another life. I found this, and it's funny, this is actually sized extra small. So I do believe it's 80s, and I think that this is one of those things that was made to go over those absolutely enormous shoulder pads that we had in the 80s. Because I am somewhere between like a large and an extra large, and this fit me with room to spare. So it's something that's gonna look gorgeous and oversized on somebody who's actually an extra small, and I think it's gonna look great on somebody who is my size or bigger. So anyway, I got this at the end of summer. And I did pay $16 for it. I've had it for about 6 months, and I had it listed for $140, and I got an offer for $112. And I'm super happy about it. That brought my profit on this to $80.08. And I am jazzed beyond belief about this, and the buyer, I hope, is going to absolutely love it because it is such a cool, unique piece. But that is it, guys. That is the ship with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you did have fun, don't forget to hit like and subscribe down below. Of course, join us on this journey. I would love to have you along with us, but I've got to get these over to the post office. I am running low on time. So without further ado, guys, have a fabulous week. Have a fantastic weekend. Happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.